Yeah, my third idea around Ash is basically related to the different personas that I have identified in my reviews mining analysis. So here I basically identified, and again, when I say identified, it's just like people that on purpose in the review mention why they bought the product, what kind of like condition they have, or what kind of persona they are. So it's kind of like a self-identify sort of persona. Sometimes obviously people don't even mention that, other times they don't. So in this case, what I would do is I would actually set up an actual post-purchase survey to try to identify different personas and different people, the reason why they buy the product. But so here we have few kind of like persona identified, and the way like the main themes I'm seeing here are, I'm a hot sleeper. So what does that mean? It means that in the middle of the night, while I sleep, I tend to sweat. Which is interesting because they self-identify as hot sleeper, right? I get hot in the middle of the night, and obviously that wakes them up, and obviously that ruins their sleep. Then we have sort of like conditions, like health conditions or physical and mental conditions, anxiety, panic attack, insomnia, PSTD, fibromyalgia. So a bunch of like, conditions that people have. Now, I want to point the attention on the hot sleeper. Now, my next thing is I want to show you another anxiety, and I call it anxiety, but this thing in this case is also like a skepticism. Like people are skeptical about the product, but in particular, they're skeptical about, not just as we said before, will this work? But the next one is, will I get hot at night? Because again, this is like tied in with the persona. People come in and they consider themselves hot sleeper. So now they're wondering, my problem is that I sweat during the night. Will I be sweating in the middle of the night with this blanket? So what I kind of like, if we go back to the product page here, and I want to highlight the product images that they have, and kind of like, let's go through them really quick. So they have, product image with two people who are actually the founders, which, it's another kind of question I would have here. Why putting a photo of a founders, and actually do the users know that these are the two founders? Then again, product image, again, another product image from a different angle. And then finally at, 1, 2, 3, 5, image number 5, I got some people. There's an image of the product with the people. Now, I think what could be interesting is to kind of like lower that anxiety and skepticism around, well, will I be hot at night if I use it or not? So what if we actually have a photo of a person sleeping in a bed, and outside you can see like a tropical weather almost. It's an implied message, and we can even use copy there, right? And it's an implied message that even if you live in like Miami or the Caribbeans, or you won't get hot at night, right? So it's an implied message. It's a very small kind of like a detail, but people that are diggers, the way I love the way you define that sort of people. They notice that little detail, right? So they're like, oh my god, well, I wonder that, even if you're living in a super tropical weather, it's still gonna work for me.
That's beautiful. I want to just stop. I want to just add over
Yeah.
here, like, that's such a, see, that's why we have this thing. This is, you're obviously a master of deconstruction, because this is exactly the idea. You're noticing like really minute details. I love it. I think it's a great idea. It's a great insight. I didn't even think about it.
The other thing, talking about,
And actually, Lorenzo,
yeah,
actually, I'll add one more thing here is that
yeah,
they could also
I love it.
use um not geo targeting, but they can also have targeting where in the summer months they emphasize that heat attribute
Nice,
more than in the
nice,
winter months, right?
nice. Um, then let's talk about, before we get into the pricing, as you can see, the price is, quite steep. We actually, when we look at the anxieties here that people mention, the product was too expensive. So again, when we look at anxiety, the way people said that it was too expensive, it was, oh my God, at first I had some thoughts. I was a little bit skeptical about buying it. I had some hesitations about buying it because the price was too expensive, right? Now, knowing that, 300
59.
and 59, it's a high price point. I think they can definitely do a better job at highlighting the quality of the product in the product images section. For example, I wonder how many people are clicking on the image, especially like the second one, to try to go into zoom in, try to understand the material a little bit. Because again, 359, I understand the whole technology behind it, but it feels quite steep. Then the other point I had here is, yeah, in general, if I wonder how many people get to like image number 5 all the way down here, and they actually see finally an image of people interacting with the product. Because again, something that I would actually want to test is, what if we actually showed 4 images of people only interacting with the product as the first images, as the first like 4 or 5 images that people see by default? Because again, when people see a photo of a person interacting with the product, they're actually imagining themselves having owning that product, right? And imagine how the outcome they're trying to achieve, what the outcome will be when they consume that product. So more images of people also, in general, like scrolling down, yeah, here you see like a image of a person, but it's kind of like half hidden by the copy. It's not like 100%
And it's
clear.
promoting, it's actually, no, I have lots of criticism over here. So she's wearing the Hush the eye cover thing, which is unrelated to me if I'm buying the blanket.
Yeah, true.
She's on a Hush pillow,
The pillow,
unrelated to
yeah.
me. I don't need to know about your product line.
Yeah.
I would like to see a product that I want you to dramatize the blanket.
Yeah, but also like in general, they don't have photos of human of people, right? So it feels like, nobody, like just putting human beings in a product page that enjoy the product and actually like talk about the benefits would definitely be something that I would want to test.